Hello there, Callum here from CallumK.com. So in one of my videos just a little while ago I was playing with this, which is a little Node MCU microcontroller, I guess you'd call it, and it has one of these little Wi-Fi chips on it. And I was talking about the Arduino IDE that's been released for it and how it's not quite compatible yet and there's a few issues. And it was annoying me because I made a little tutorial to make it easier with a little process to follow, but the whole thing was far too much. So what I've done is I've written a Python script that basically automates everything for you. It's only tested on Mac, might work on something else, who knows, but we'll have to see. I'll jump into my Mac view and show you how.
So before we start, just a quick reminder of the problem. Essentially we can have our Arduino script like this running it in the Arduino ESP8266 environment. We can have our everything set up correctly. We can have the board set to a generic ESP board. We can have the port set to the correct port. And we can have a program that compiles correctly as so. But what you'll see is as soon as we click upload, it will run through and then we'll get an error when we try and get upload. Sometimes it looks like this, sometimes it looks different. The bottom line is the built-in ESP tool is not working. So I've written a little Python module that looks like this that solves that problem. You don't need to worry about it too much, but essentially what happens is we search for the available serial ports. The user can then choose a serial port. It then finds the most recent build files that the Arduino has generated and then sends them to the ESP tool port. It's probably a bit unsafe, but you know what? It works really well. So I'll just give you an example. So the first thing we would do is we would hit the compile button. So it will run through and you'll see it will compile, and it's made these two bin files down here, the 00000 and the 40000 bin files. Previously we had to copy those, put them into a command, edit, and do that, and then put it into here. So we'd change them here, copy, paste into the command line. But that's a bit boring, we don't really want to do that, so we can get rid of that. Now all we need to do is run Python CKTool.py. We run it once, and it lists the ports. Here I want port 3, which is my serial adapter. I press 3, enter. Switches to ESP tool, and then flashes. It can show us that in yellow as it writes, and this will just take a couple of seconds, so I'll probably skip at this point in the video. We're getting towards the final 10% here, and you'll see what happens is it finishes uploading and then immediately jumps into a serial console. So the first thing that this script I've got running on my ESP tool does is HTTP server started and prints out the IP address somewhere up here, I think it is. Regardless of where it is, server.begin, I think it probably sits in there, but it spits out here and it's given us the IP, so we can now take that IP address, copy it, and we can go into Google and we can refresh this. And of course you won't see any change, it will say exactly the same thing as before, but the point is we know that it has worked. Let me get rid of that. So once again, really simple process. I can kill this script and start it again if I want to. Let me just clear. So all you do, Python CKTool.py, run it, choose the serial port you want, and everything else is automatic. Hope that's been helpful, and let me know if there are any improvements you want me to make to the script.